Hey YouTube, we're working on this 2021 Sportsman 110. I believe it's got some transmission issues. It's pretty jolty on deceleration only, and only if there seems to be some weight on the bike when you're doing it. If you lift up the back axle and rev it up, it has no issues, but the second a rider is on it and they get up to speed, the second they decel, it starts jerking back and forth, and seems like something's catching. We just took off the belt side, took a look at the belt and the clutch. Everything looks good on that side, which leads us to thinking that it's transmission. And so we're going to do a transmission rebuild on this bike and show everybody what you do to do that. So first things first, you've got this wheel fender here we got to take off. There we go. These bolts right here along the side, these ones on this side, and these four down here on the foot plate. We're going to take those off first and proceed from there. All right, now we've got that footwell out. What we're going to do is we're going to take off this chain cover here, which is just a couple of Phillips head screws. And then we have got the shifter, which you've got 2 screws up top, one on each side. And then you've got the spline down here for the shifter. What you want to do is you either want to get a Sharpie, you want to get a Sharpie and mark it right here to right here on the spline, so you know exactly how this lines back up when you put it back together. And then we're going to take it out and clean it. So let's go ahead. We're going to take off the chain case first, or the chain guard. And then we're going to take off these 2 bolts. And I'm going to go ahead and mark this right here so I can easily see it when we reassemble it. Alright, you can kind of see right there. We marked it on the crank and we marked it over there on the side. So we know exactly where that shifter is going to go when we put it back together. Okay. Now you can see that we've gotten those 2 pieces taken off. The bottom of the shifter here, it's got just a little, there it is, there we go, 10mm bolt that goes through the bottom there. Easiest accessed, coming right up through the bottom, right through here. Just with I just did with an impact gun there, a little impact drill, and a 10mm socket. Now we are going to take off this, we're going to take this guy off right here. I can't remember the name. We're going to take that off. It's two 10mm bolts, and then this little key right there, and that whole thing should pop right off. And then we're going to take and we are going to pressure wash this whole thing to get all the dirt off, just because you don't want to be dealing with dirt while you're messing with your transmission. Alright, so we finished pressure washing. Now we need to drain the transmission fluid. You see it right there. That giant 17mm bolt. We're going to take that out, drain out all the transmission fluid so we can open this thing up. Be back in a few. Alright, we got it all cleaned up. We got it drained. Sorry, I set it on there so I could easily move the bike. Now we're going to take out these little 8mm bolts all the way around the case. Feel on the bottom down there. And pop that case off. See what this transmission looks like. I imagine we're going to see some teeth. Something's going to be throwing it off to cause that jolting on deceleration. Okay, so we've got all the bolts out. What you're going to want to do is you want to push in on this guy right here, gear shifter, because we're going to want that to stay in the case. This comes out. We're going to pull this whole thing out. We're going to take a look and see what the gears look like. But make sure that you're pushing in on this, because you don't want to pull that out. Alright, so we've got that case off here. First thing you want to do, there we go, pull this little pin out. It just comes out like so. Set it off to the side. And then we are going to pull out this main assembly here. It just slides out like that. Okay. Set that off to the side. Oh, we didn't want both of these to fall up. That's all right. I'm going to take them both out. We'll set them over here. Kind of take a look. See exactly what's loose. What's wiggling. That looks good. All the teeth look good on that still. Nothing sheared off. Take a look here. That gear. Good, nice and snug. This just shifts back and forth. This puts you in forward or reverse. Let's see here. That's pretty loose. See, that's got way more play than what it should have. You can see this collar right there. This bushing. Kind of hard to see. There you go. It's got too much play. Let's see if we can snug that up. We're going to take a socket, put it over the top, give it a few good smacks with a mallet. See if we can tighten up that bushing, see if it tightens that up. If not, we can pull it and take a look at the bushing on here and see what it looks like. Alright, so we just put a 1/2 millimeter socket on the end of there. Just smacked it down a little bit. You can see it's still got a little play to it, but not nearly as significant as before. Should have just a little bit of play. This still might be just a smidge excessive. We're gonna go ahead and put the transmission back together and see how it feels in the bike. If it's still bad, we'll go ahead and pull it off. We'll end up replacing this gear. It's got a little bushing on the inside of it. Maybe that bushing is just completely trashed on it. But we're gonna see if this works. So we're gonna try and do this one-handed here. Go ahead and clear off our parts. And it's a great thing about these little transmissions. They're super easy. Sorry, it's hard to get the camera in there. Get that top spline in. Okay, check. See if we can set the phone. No, I'll have to hold it. Alright, next, you want to take this guy and actually put this into this middle groove right there, like that. Okay, little push button goes up top. Grab the whole gear, and it's gonna go right in here. I make no promises that we'll be able to do this one-handed. I'm trying to stabilize it here. Oof. That is gonna be a little tough. Ideally, when you're doing this, it'll be much easier as you'll have both your hands available. And we might still have to, guys, we might have to do this with two hands. I got the bit in there, but that did not stay in, so we're gonna have to pull it out, get this selector in there, and then we'll come back to it here in a second.